Thank you, Mr. Allen and Mrs. Brown. I acknowledge the presence of Ms. Mawson, board member for the Montserrat Board of Directors. And yes, as we said, including the youth, and we will now have a short piece by the MSS drummers. For those who did not know, Mr. Robert Griffith was an avid fan of drumming. So here we go, a short piece by the MSS drummers. Thank you, MSS drummers. We'll now have the citation of Robert Griffith.
Robert William Griffith, affectionately known as Mas Bob, was born in 1904 and was a catalyst for laying the foundation of the working class movement and national politics in Montserrat. In 1946, he established the Montserrat Trades and Labor Union as a means of addressing the low wages in sanitary housing and degrading working conditions of the masses. Determined in his mission as the deliverer and emancipator of his people, he secured better wages for agricultural workers through marches, strikes, protests, and the power of the union. He once bravely led a march from the War Memorial in Plymouth to the home of the manager of the Montserrat Company in Ulverston. In 1943, Mr. Griffith won a seat in the Legislative Council and became the first Montserratian of humble birth in that era to do so, thereby gaining the opportunity to represent the people politically. Mr. Griffith was influential and inspirational. He went on to win 2 successive elections, 1952 and 55. So powerful was Griffith that in 1950, during a strike, the Defense Force and the warship HMS Bigbury had to be called out in support of his arrest. He narrowly escaped imprisonment and he and his followers were fined. He constantly fought against imperialism in Montserrat, which was deeply embedded in the strong English representation in the Legislative Council and the senior civil service. Griffith's fame and influence transcended Montserrat. In 1936, he persuaded the great and famous Marcus Messiah Garvey to visit and address Montserratians. He also proudly represented the island overseas in forums such as the West Indian Council in Jamaica in 1946 and the Federation Conference in London in 1953. Griffith was a member of the Standing Federation and Regional Economic Committees and a representative of Montserrat in the Leeward Islands Federal Legislature. It is instructive that on a visit to London, he held discussion with the Duke of Edinburgh on the future of the island's cotton industry. Robert W. Griffith carved out and cemented a rich legacy. A famous grocer, even nearing the age of 90, he served the community through his George Street shop. A founding father, a liberator, and a savior, Mr. Robert William Griffith is a Montserrat national hero.
And that was the citation for Robert W. Griffith. We'll now have a few words from the artist himself, Mr. Kelvin Tabu Duberry.
Morning. Establish the presence of Excellency, the Governor, Honorable Premier, our Minister of Education, ZJB staff, everyone, Vice Principal, Principal of the school, Mr. Mack, Director of Mack. Today is his birthday, actually. So it's nice that we unveil a plaque on his birthday. It is not for me to accept credit for anything that you will see there, but more than the power of the Most High, who feeds me with the inspiration to give to the generations for the last 3 generations, something like 30 years and counting. It is not for me to accept any credit, but more the students that motivated me. While we're doing this process, people like Sammay Sinclair, Junie Pierre, and the crew that hangs around in the art room, they are the ones who motivate me to be perfect, or try to be perfect, because when I teach the art to them, I want them to be perfect, or strive for excellence, because our motto says, Kinum Prophecy Deficit. So if you're in the art room and you do not progress, that means you are regressing. However, the works of inspiration, I hope that it will teach the next generation to come the importance of saluting our heroes. And it's very ironic that they are placed in front of a school that the mothers and fathers passing by can also see the national heroes. And one thing that hurts me deep inside is when I hear the national anthem playing, the territorial song, and anything to do with our culture and people still walking by and driving by. It hurts me deeply, because in Jamaica, anywhere, even the man that pushes the cart on the road, they stand up when the national anthem is playing. We have to establish that in Montserrat, that we respect the national and territorial song and the national heroes. That's all I'm asking, nothing else. I'd like to introduce Sammay Sinclair, the one that motivates me every day. My heart is warm. She's always with me every day for the last 4 years. And anything she does is a reflection of what I do. So I have to give her all the credit.
I appreciate being able to help on this huge project. And well, thank you, Mr. Duberry, for for the big up. Yeah, but well, that's all.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Mr. Duberry, as they make their way over. I'm going to ask you, lovely folks, to help me count down to the unveiling of the portrait. Look how fast they reach up there. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move the bus. On behalf of the Montserrat Arts Council, the Montserrat Secondary School, I would like to say a big, big thank you for all of you for attending this brief ceremony this morning. I hope that those who are viewing online, when you drive past the Montserrat Secondary School, you will look up and see the national heroes. And next year, we'll be right here unveiling the portrait of Alphonsus Arrow Castle. Thank you. Have a wonderful National Heroes Day and a great St. Patrick's. Bye.